Very good evening, everyone. This is Dr. Suman Trivedi from Delhi Public School, Bhopal. I very heartily invite Dr. Kinnar Shah, who is a senior surgeon and a very well-known personality, working as a director at Department of Surgical Oncology, Sal Hospital. He is a fellow alumni of Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center, New York, USA. He is a senior surgeon with over 25 years of experience. Today, he will be sharing his valuable experience on effects of changing lifestyles on health. So, and I request all the audience that you keep posting your comments, your questions if you face any concerns about your health or lifestyle. Uh, Over to you, Dr. Shah.
I think good evening, everybody. It's a funny world. It's a funny system, right? That I don't know whom I am talking to, how many people are attending, and maybe just a few hand raises or whatever. So it's like I am talking to the wall. But I think that is how the last 1.5 years has changed because of COVID, right? So first of all, I would like to thank Mr. Unmesh Dixit and DPS for inviting me to give this talk. This talk is actually one of the oldest talks which has been going on since decades, changing lifestyle and health. Uh, Actually, honestly, if you carry out a survey, most of the people know what is a healthy lifestyle.
Hmm.
And theoretically, everybody knows what is the importance of a healthy lifestyle, which is going to promote good, positive health. But the point is that theory is always easy to master, but very difficult to practice and execute. So again, I just try to touch a few points about how lifestyle has changed over the years and what is its toll on our health. So lifestyle actually is, it's a single word lifestyle, but if you actually cut it into two, there's life and there is style. And you are from DPS, right? So DPS is one of the modern and nice schools or the smartest schools of Ahmedabad, right? So you will understand the meaning of life and style. Some people believing in living life to the fullest, full of style, and they end up with us. Some people have only life but no style. Again tell you, give you examples of that, and you also will understand that all these people are around you, and you've already seen them. And some people have just style but no life. So if you think about it, that people who got a lot of style, the celebrities, oh, you feel them, wow, what a style they are having, what a life they are having, right? If you critically go and analyze them, and if you see the number of suicides that the celebrities are committing, whether in India or in the West, we realize that they were just having style but no life. And as a result, they just, you know, they succumb to the pressures and they lost their lives. Then there are others, you know, the rural people, or there's a very famous saying that, people with Audi cars, okay, the four bungalow cars, right? How did that thing come into the picture? Four bungalows, right? So people with lot of land, they just come with, bags full of money. And well, they had lot of life, lot of money, but no style. And they were trying to upgrade their style by getting these fancy cars. And where would they park their cars in their farms?
So,
It
so,
would be
doc,
next to the cattle. Yeah,
so Dr. Shah, is this changing style as you mentioned? Is and blindly following the lifestyle of people. Somewhere it doesn't relate to us. Also, is it really affecting their health also?
absolutely. So that is what. See, see, in the past, so how this changing lifestyle has affected our health? Okay, in the past, when India became independent, the lifespan was quite short. So many cancers, suppose, as a cancer surgeon, I would say that many cancers were not that frequently seen in India. Why? because they were cancers of the olden age and people did not reach that age only. Best example was prostate cancer. In the 1940s and 50s and 60s, the average lifespan was hardly 58. Now you see that more and more people are going into the 70s and 80s, and then you see that okay, the number of prostate cancers are also increasing. But coming to the life and style and its effect on the health, see, fundamentally, we always talk of starting the day nicely. I would rather go one step backwards. You reclaim your night properly. If your night is proper, the day is going to be proper. So what has happened is that previously, or in villages as of now, you've got patients who come from villages, right? Where the nights are quite early. This so-called no nightlife. The nights are early. They get up early. They do go about with their healthy breakfast. They do really hard work, and they are healthy most of the times. I mean, a villager who comes for surgery versus a urbanite who comes for surgery. You know, the funny part is the villager just goes back returns so much faster than the urbanite. So then you feel that there is something in that lifestyle which is not only affecting the health but also the outcomes. So for example, yes, overall the healthy lifestyle in the villages is probably much better than us. The only problem over there is, you know what? Tobacco. So tobacco addiction, you know, kills them. And from that one particular bad lifestyle habit, their whole health gets affected. Otherwise, a villager, he comes with a peptic perforation or a appendicitis. Very few are going to come. But when they come, they just the surgery is over and they go back to work very fast. While an urbanite, he is going to take some more time, in his recovery. Because though he looks good and fit, from inside there is a lot of hollowness. And that is why nowadays if you see and talking of healthy lifestyle, we doctors are also guilty. We advise others, but our lifestyle is probably one of the most lousiest lifestyles. We advise others to follow that, but we seldom do it ourselves. And as a result, you will see that when your lifestyle is bad, what comes into the picture? Stress. And for reducing the stress, what do? You take up some addiction. And so one thing leads to the other. So from a really nice working style, you want to attain more, you want to attain more. The stress comes. The stress comes with the stress. You try stress busters. So either you binge it, you binge drink, or you just start tobacco, smoking, chewing, etc. And then you enter that phase of addiction, and your health goes for a downswing. So this is one part of the story, and that is tobacco and alcohol. But more importantly, right now, which is affecting every person of all age groups, is our phones. And because of our phones, we could survive the COVID impact. See, COVID has changed. I mean, just imagine if there would have been no internet and no smartphones, then from this virus, how would you have sustained this almost 1.5 years of lockdown? So there are positives. So everything has got positives, but there are simultaneously plenty of negatives also. It depends how you discipline yourself. So the whole bottom line is how to discipline. There are positives of everything and try to dwell on that. And there are so many things to do. So if you talk of lifestyle previously when there was no cars, no this thing, bikes, people used to walk a lot. Yes, were they healthy? They were healthier. So that doesn't mean cars are a bad invention. Okay, so the rural person or our average laborer in the big cities also, they are much stronger, physically stronger. So yes, they are wealth health wise they are more wealthier than us. But then you need money also to sustain, right? On our side, we have got money. We go mad after trying to attain that money, and in the process, we become so stressed out. To reduce the stress, we enter another cycle of tobacco, alcohol, drugs, partying that you feel that is the style, and then you end up again much sicker than you were. So this changing lifestyle starts from the evening habits that as the night, so-called nightlife started improving, because in rural areas, in smaller towns and villages, there are no such things like discotheques, etc., right? Or hookah bars or all that thing. So here, sleep early, enjoy your life. It's not that they don't live their life. They definitely have a much healthier and wealthier life. And their morning starts early. Morning, ideally, it should start with at the right time. I'm not saying that, okay, get up at 5 a.m. I don't get up at 5 a.m., unfortunately, though I advise others, right? But yes, 6:30 a.m. you start, then you do some meditation, you start exercising. What happens is the night has been so tough or rough or late that you are not in a position to exercise in the morning. So your morning starts late. Your morning starts late, and then there is a cascading effect. Now, previously, we did not have a job culture, but with multinational companies coming over here, a lot of people are into jobs. And when you work with a time frame, within a time frame, business is different. So when you work within a time frame, there are targets. For that targets, there are pressures. And for that pressures, you always is going to succumb to that pressure, and you will try to find out avenues. You will try to find out avenues to face that pressure. And that is how. So if you are a businessman, you are in well control of the situation, and you are living a comfortable, satisfactory lifestyle, your health is going to be good. If you don't have addiction, then there is no reason for you to die. See, the atmosphere, we have got pollution as a problem over here. Our food also is a problem. Water is a problem. In the US, if you think about it, why are there the lifespan has increased to 90s? I mean, you will find so many people in the 90s, right? Because clean air, clean food, and lifestyle is so good, they run a lot. So even if they eat non-vegetarian food, even if they drink a lot, they are able to digest it. Over here, we just blindly follow them. We just blindly follow them. We take to smoking, we take to alcohol. You know what? Our patients, the patients of cancer, when they come to us and having tobacco, you know, unfortunately, related, they are not eating only. So they are weak. They have taken only tobacco as their food. They only drink and they don't take the routine food. So healthy lifestyle begins right from a good night, a good early morning. Reclaim your mornings. I'm not saying that you run 10 kilometers. Really, I mean, all those parameters are by the West. And our average build is such that is, if you can run 10 kilometers, it's fine. But just a brisk walk or a regular exercise or a workout, there are so many options available on the net right now that you can start your day nicely. Then comes breakfast. See, breakfast suffered. Indian breakfasts were one of the healthiest breakfasts, right? But what replaced the Indian breakfast was cereals, cornflakes. Right? Otherwise, our Indian breakfasts were excellent. So, but there was no time to enjoy the breakfast because we are always short of time. We had to go for a job, we had to go for work. So we wanted fast, fast, fast. So a fast food is not just pizzas and pastas and burgers. Fast foods are also the cereals also. The breakfast also has replaced our traditional breakfast were really healthy breakfast and you could just sustain the whole day on that. With cereals you cannot sustain the whole day. Okay, and that is most of the time it is carbs, carbs and carbs. But our breakfasts are much more healthy. So the beginning, when the start is bad, when you start the day bad, you are going on a recipe towards unhealthy lifestyle. So lifestyle is bad, you don't expect that okay, you are going to be a very healthy person. Your health is going to be affected. And there is a direct proportional relation between lifestyle and health. Better the lifestyle, better the health. But but God is very funny. Diseases are so many varieties. There are so many varieties of diseases. For example, if I just talk of cancers, there are more than 200 types of cancers. Okay, so 60-70% cancers are associated with tobacco and alcohol, right? What happens is when a person who doesn't have tobacco or alcohol and gets a cancer and he dies, the addicts are overjoyed. Hey, yaar, he did not have anything and still he had cancer. And the boss is better to enjoy life. in style, and then everybody has to die. So why bother about it? Got it? So knowledge is important that there is such a huge variety of illnesses. And I'm just talking of one aspect, cancer. More than 200 varieties, 60%, 65% are related to tobacco, but 40% are not related to tobacco. So a person who has a cancer, so the bottom line is yes, healthy lifestyle will it help in preventing cancer? Probably no. It will help in preventing the head and neck cancers, the lung cancers. So when we go deep into this, people will say, yeah, chodo, yeah, let me just enjoy my life and and I am happy with whatever I am having. Got it? So there are the people who want to live an unhealthy life, unhealthy lifestyle, they are going to stick to their guns. कि नहीं भाई हम तो एंजॉय करेंगे वी वांट टू पार्टी वी वांट टू ड्रिंक जैसे भी लोग कितने लोग मर रहे हैं so many people are dying just like that. So no point in living that idealistic lifestyle. But those are exceptions that you will find some people with the worst lifestyles also living into their 80s. But if you see that all our parents and grandparents, if you see them, now suddenly you see that over a period of time, their life expectancy in India has increased dramatically. And you will see around you that so many people are in their 80s and 90s and functional. So what is the reason for that? These are the group who were born in the 40s and 50s, where India was backward. But the food and the water and all those things are more purer. Right now, you are not you are worried about what ghee you are taking, what milk you are taking, whether you are taking milk or some chemical composition, whether you are taking yogurt or some chemical composition. Ghee is available for between 500 rupees per kilo to 5,000 rupees per kilo. So that 5,000 rupees per kilo, you feel that okay, that is a pure ghee. And what the hell are we eating all these years? So paneer, I mean, we are taking so much of paneer, and paneer is supposed to be a healthy product. But the amount of paneer that India consumes versus the amount of paneer that can be officially made from the available milk in India is a huge discrepancy. So, which hotels or what paneer are we eating outside? So, all these things we do not have the time to dwell into. We think, maybe we are getting it from here, it has to be pure. And we don't have the time and we don't care also. Everybody is eating the same thing. So, forget about it. So, lifestyle, all this, the next thing which came in India with the cereals came the pizzas and the pastas. Right. The beauty is that and these are school parents, I'm sure they will be shouting that their kids they love pizzas, pastas, and burgers, but they don't like the traditional Indian meals of roti or bhakri and khichdi and all those things, right? So you have to repackage. You have to repackage them, and that is how the famous Gucci style came. And we came up with bhakri pizza, right? The original pizzas were what? Of flour, of dough, which was harmful. So they came up with wheat base. So wheat base, then yes, then there is tomato gravy, and there are a lot of veggies, so it becomes healthy. Cheese, yes, in limit, cheese is also fine if you can digest it. If you just go on eating all those things, then you are going to end up obese and you are going to end up with a medical community. So, and if you see critically, the Italians, the Americans, you will find obese. Italians will not find obese. Okay, and where did the pizza come from? Italy. So, because they are able to digest those pizzas, they work out a lot, they are able to digest it. While we just go on gorging upon this fast food and then we don't work it. And that is why we end up with a lousy health. So, to enumerate how changing lifestyle has affected the health. So, late night culture, parties. I am not against parties, mind you. I also party myself. But for a current younger generation, I think all the parents will agree that they have seen 5 a.m. only from the night, never from the morning. They can, they can keep awake the whole night, till 5 o'clock in the morning. But if you tell them that you get up at five tomorrow morning, they are not going to get up, right? So late night culture, wild partying, drugs, tobacco, alcohol, all these things lead to you are not realizing God has given a fantastic body and a huge reserve, but you don't know how that reserve gets depleted. So all these things they have a subtle effect on your body. And when you are sleeping and when your sleep is disturbed, see every theory from every country stresses the need for good quality sleep, right? And what are we doing? We are sleeping late. We are getting up either disturbed because of the phone ringing, or we are just constantly staring at the phone and your sleep is just getting disturbed. So you get up in the morning groggy. Now, suddenly, see, suicides were happening in the past also. But nowadays, the number of suicides have increased dramatically. So there is so much of the world is moving at such a pace that there is so much to do. There is so much to achieve. And if you do it properly,
I think for some reason Dr. Shah got disconnected. We just wait for a while. Uh, could be some network issues. See, as Dr. Shah was rightly sharing that, the late night, what people have started following a habitual, that they don't feel sleepy because entire day they are so much occupied with the other work, and finally they feel that they have little got a free time, but they want to use this time. So the only thing what we get in excess around us is mobiles, or you can say a screen. But to be very honest and to be very open about it, that basically screen is not going to help you in sleeping early. Rather, it's going to extend your sleep, because the radiation which is released because of the welcome back, Dr. Shah.
yeah. I'm sorry. I got a call from my patient, so it got interrupted. I didn't know how to
Not a
cancel that.
problem. No, not a problem. So basically, I was just sharing to all of them that nowadays the habit and the routine has become such that people have nowadays become unconsciously directing themselves towards more of screen addiction or spending more time onto screen. नहीं कुछ नहीं काम है तो चलो स्क्रीन टीवी देख लेते हैं, या यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस देख लेते हैं. This is something they find is an easy option or easy way out, but actually it's not helping them to sleep. Rather उनकी sleep मतलब और 2-3 घंटे आगे चली जाती है. And something what they
See,
plan maybe at 11, 12, 12:30 एक आराम से हो जाते हैं, and then again the same routine follows. Late उठो, उठ नहीं पाते हैं. This is usually, and my students face a lot of difficulty, especially in this pandemic, क्योंकि parents feel parents also feel the same thing, because कितना monitor
uh,
करें.
honestly, it's a very good question, but no answers. Because, mind you, if you ask the parents that what if this phone was not available, they would have gone mad. They would have gone mad
Exactly,
taking care of
exactly.
the children. Right. So there are, as I said, for everything there are positives and negatives, and there's a very thin line of demarcation between the positive and negative. Okay, and what is positive for me might not be positive for you. So but only thing is there are certain broad-based guidelines. See, see, I mean, I belong to a generation where in our time I was a Xavierite, and there were only two schools: Xavier's, CLS, and Mount Carmel. Okay, so English medium schools, right? So at that time, it was just that by science layer you become a doctor or an engineer. You have taken commerce, you become a let's say chartered accountant, a CS, or a lawyer. Okay. Nowadays, the number of schools, education system, it has evolved so much. See, what we feel, that feeling of left out, follow, right? Feeling of left out, it is applicable to even my parents from our point of view, my daughters feel, you are behaving such a way that as if you have lost everything. So my daughters feel that okay, their grandparents and her parents, that is me, we are behaving like this. See, what was available in the past, right now things are moving so fast that everybody feels that I have left out. I have just logged all these years, so I want to enjoy life. I want to enjoy. I want to reclaim whatever life is left, right? And this phone, social media, all these outings, etc., it is helping them. COVID changed everything. COVID changed it came as a KO punch that what the hell? Wait, nature is still the strongest. God or nature said that I am still the boss, and whatever progress you have made, still you are still nothing. And right now, if you see see, nature is telling you, giving you messages from all over the place, provided we see those messages and we understand what nature is trying to tell us. The heat in Canada, the floods in China. I mean, these are all first world countries. Technologically, they are superb, right? But still, in front of the fury of nature, they are helpless. We are somewhere in the middle. So we are technically much better off, but we are going drifting towards the worst. So as far as the social media and telephones are concerned, thank God that our internet is so cheap. It is probably one of the cheapest in the world. If you go to UK and USA, you will be talking in terms of this many MBs and this many GBs of data per month. Here, everybody has got so many GBs that gone are the days when people used to work for, ask for a Wi-Fi password. Now nobody cares for a Wi-Fi. That's a positive. Now talking of YouTube, social media, just imagine that you have got a YouTuber who is a, or a social media influencer who is a multi-millionaire and who is just 2.5 years or 3 years old. I mean, this is how things have changed positively. That any person of I am educated, I am a postgraduate, super specialist. What I am earning, I am slogging and I am earning. Okay. But a YouTuber or a smart influencer, he or she will advertise. Previously, there was advertisements. Now, this person, with his expressions and ability to express, he is able to influence hundreds or thousands of people, and then they get endorsements. And just imagine, by talking, you are earning. So, this is how things have changed. This is how things have changed over there. But the corollary is that of late you are finding so many people dying in trying to influence things, in trying to take crazy pictures, in trying to, deal up with the pressure of performance continuously. They either end up with addictions or they do more and more dangerous stunts, and young lives are being lost. So the positive is that social media and phones and internet is throwing up newer avenues of studies, newer avenues of generating income. I mean, and studies, what would have happened that in the past, because of riots, remember, because of riots in the 1980s, there used to be mass promotion. Because of a natural disaster, there were mass. Nowadays, you can study at home. The teachers are able to study. There are so many classes available at home. That is a positive. But the problem is people don't go for those classes. They will go for other things. And that is where the parental guidance is required. Now, parents are also under so much of stress because finances have been affected. So they are under stress. So they will feel, okay, my kids, you enjoy your life. Let us just try to reclaim our life. So it's a vicious circle. You have to be, the KISS phenomenon. Keep it simple, silly. Just try to organize your life. See, everybody knows that how changing lifestyle is changing the health also of the not just the human being, but of the whole family and of the society in general. Previously, if you remember in Gujarati, we saw one ma praveshe means heart attacks. One is 51, 52, 53, 54. Now, people are living into their 80s and we are getting heart attacks in 30s and 40s. I mean, on Sunday, only a 25-year-old boy, he died at his home. There was a party on Saturday night, and Sunday morning he was breathless, and before the ambulance came, he was dead. So you can imagine what this changing. lifestyle is leading to, where it is taking us. Okay, so it is for us. We are educated to, and now see, now nobody is uneducated. Everybody has got access to basic information, right? It is your adult choice that what you want to do. And we have to be very simple. As I said, people with the smart watches, they will say 8,000 steps, 10,000 steps. They become obsessed with them. They become obsessed with that. And the funny thing is that we get people who just die doing that. So you don't need to, 10,000 steps recommended for the Western people. If you are not that strong, then it is training your heart. So be rational. Start your day nicely. Start with meditation, little bit of exercise. Don't overstrain yourself. What happens is when you overstrain yourself and if somebody succumbs because of exercise, rest of the people will say, अरे यार मजा करो ना यार लेट नाइट्स उठो लेट मॉर्निंग्स करो और शांति से जियो कि ये क्या है so lifestyle what happens is that when such VPCs occur such episodic occurrences happen that a young fit person dies prematurely or a healthy person gets a cancer and dies the people who are addiction or having addictions or having a bad lifestyle they feel अरे यार our lifestyle is good I have so many patients who say, okay, sir, after stopping tobacco for the last 5 years, I am getting cancer. And I'm like, if I would have continued, it would have been better. I said that after stopping tobacco, the risk for cancer goes on for 25 years plus. So they are not aware of that and they conveniently forget that. The message which goes to the society is he stopped tobacco and that is why he got cancer. So the answer is don't stop tobacco if you are doing it. So similarly, there are so many aspects of life, but right now the strongest point, see, for all the parents and the students, use your phones beautifully. You can be millionaires sitting in your homes, not getting out of your home. You can be, there are so many online classes available from beautiful universities where going over there will be so expensive that you can take your lessons over here and you can educate yourself over here and then you can go directly and just make your life. So there are fantastic positives. I mean, who would have thought that I can take a class at Harvard or at Stanford sitting in Ahmedabad? Okay, who would have thought that, okay, I can watch a Spanish or a Mexican or a Turkish serial sitting in Ahmedabad? Netflix has made all these things possible. And the corollary is that those people are going to see Hindi, Bollywood, and even Gujarati films. So the world has become so huge. It is you for you to decide where you want to place yourself. If you want to just be an ordinary addict who is going to succumb to the pressures, most welcome. If you want to be an influencer, most welcome. And if you want to be an influencer with some rational, then again, most welcome. It is for you to decide. For parents, really don't stress yourself out. You have to accept that these kids are much smarter than what we were in our youth. The amount of exposure that they have got to the worldly things is phenomenal. You have to just guide them, you have to just mentor them so that they stay on the right path. And we also slipped on the wrong path, so for them it is much easier. But diet, exercise, meditation, right amount of social media, all these things are essential. See, when my daughter, sorry, when my daughter was in school, we had decided that till college you will not be on Facebook. Okay, nowadays all the lectures are on Facebook. So that is the beauty that Facebook is no longer wrong. Instagram, you have to give advertisements to newspapers on television. On Instagram, you directly advertise yourself. That is a fabulous change of life and of opportunities. But if you get addicted to it and if you just don't come out of that, then it is your loss. So drawing the line is the most going to be the most delicate part for the parent and for the student. But the opportunities are absolutely phenomenal. So don't let go of the opportunities, but just continue with this thing. Hey, please.
Dr. Shah, as you mentioned that, right amount of social media. So, is there any justification for parents that exactly what is the right amount of social media?
See, for example, I tell you, when my daughter was in college, we used to fire her that, oh, you are just on social media, social media, right? Then she did her master's in digital marketing. And now she laughs, They used to tell me that don't be on social. Now I earn from the social media. So it is so funny that there cannot be, see, the beauty of today's time is there is no rule of thumb. It is totally relative, and relative. During the pandemic, the schools were on social media, right? So that 4 hours or 6 hours was compulsory teaching on social media. And that cannot be counted as telephone time because they were studying. So they have a right to be on the other social medias to enjoy because the
Hmm.
school time was study time. So you have to give them. And what else? See, not everybody lives in big houses with big gardens and where they can play around. People live in very small spaces also. And COVID was such a fantastic example of the unknown that yes, social media helped you. Otherwise, believe me, there would have been much bigger disasters, much bigger mental health disorders. Because living in close confines with the whole family together, fighting for space, fighting for food, because again, we are talking of small families in small houses. If it would not have been for the phone and the free internet, it would have been a complete disaster. So, no rule of thumb. It will be individualistic. Now, if your kid is interested in sports, and by seeing certain sports, if he learns something, it will be fantastic. Talking about my daughter, she learns from YouTube hairstylist. Now she has become a quite a well-known hairstylist in Ahmedabad. I was surprised, and I was thinking, what the hell? What is happening? So, Papa, you will not understand this. Now, if I want to, I learned a couple of surgeries from the YouTube videos, right? Now, for me to go to Spain to learn those surgeries from a Spanish doctor, I learned it for free on YouTube sitting in my own home. That is the power. So the positives far outweigh the negatives. Only thing is certain amount of bottom line self-discipline will have to be inculcated. And that will come with time. See, allow the kids freedom because see, if you force them, they are going to do behind your backs. So allow them the freedom and with the control with certain caveats. Okay, certain performance-based indicators should be there. If people just lie on the beds, still staring at YouTube or the social media chats, etc. Right? Okay, but there has to be caveats. Food at this time on the dining table and food with the family. Food, don't Zomato or Swiggy the food, eat home food, right? So all these things, there have to be caveats. It is a situation which all parents all over the world are facing and ready, and they are failing also. But but if you just divert them into the positives, I tell you, if you can get a degree just by looking at your phones and studying on the phone, what more do you want? If you can get beautiful courses which will make you skilled to start a business, what more do you want? And because of the competition, there are so many courses which are, even if they are paid, they cost a few hundred rupees or a few thousand rupees. See, that is a positive. That is a positive. So, yes, children, if they are too much involved, now what is too much is going to be different for every parent. So they will have to take an individual call. And it will depend upon the parent's mood also on that particular day and particular time. If he or she is in a happy mood, arey yaar, watch it, chal, you have earned it. If he is grouchy, I am doing this. So it's a very relative phenomenon. But the positives far outweigh the negative. See, what is absolutely bad lifestyle is tobacco, alcohol, drugs. Social media phones can be bad, but they have got a lot of positive. There is no such positive, anything positive about tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. Now, if you see critically, that has increased significantly and from schools. from schools. In our time in Xavier's, yes, there was always a small percentage of kids who will experiment with cigarettes. Right. Now the kids are so smart and they've got access to so much and so much money also is there in the system that tobacco, alcohol, and soft drugs. I mean, I've got two daughters and they keep on telling me, okay, what nonsense are you preaching? Everybody is on drugs in our college or in our with our friends. So many people are taking drugs. And now, where does that come from? Where does that come? So then the parents also should hold a mirror to their face. That how many parents are drinking? So if you are drinking and if you are not taking drugs, that doesn't mean that your child should not take drugs, but he is allowed to drink. So either you do something good, or something bad, or you don't do. But if you do one bad and then you tell your kids then you should not do that, it's not going to work. How many people, how many people today on Facebook, how many of them are drinking in their homes? It is a phenomenal number. Everybody knows that in Ahmedabad, I think the amount of alcohol that is consumed. Yeah, the good thing of this prohibition is there is no nonsense and insecurity like Bihar or even Karnataka or Kerala or West Bengal, right? Or Rajasthan. That overall, we are still safer on the roads. But still, the amount of drinking which is happening is phenomenal. I mean, I know friends whose kids in sixth and seventh standard they start drinking. How do you face that? Why the hell you keep the bottles at home? Now, if you keep the bottles at home for your own consumption, you will never realize that when your kids are using it. And then your kids will be better. Always the parent feels that my kids will be better than me. They will go one step up and they will go into drugs. And drugs were more difficult in our times. Now they are more easily available. So they will go to drugs. So what is unhealthy and stays unhealthy is tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. Phones, social media can be unhealthy, but but their positives far outweigh the negatives. And for that, some amount of parenting, some amount of guidance, some amount of mentoring from the teachers, guidance from the parents is required, and the students also have to discipline themselves. But as I said, that if somebody just by watching he gets an idea because an entrepreneur, will you call the he spent too much time on the phone, but he got an idea, he became an entrepreneur. I mean, he learned something new and became an influencer. I mean, it's so ridiculous. Just imagine how the world has changed. And it is so difficult for us to understand as parents that just by unboxing certain things, you can become famous. So that is unhealthy, but it is proving to be healthy in other ways. So, yes, mobiles are going to stay. They have positives. For us, it is for us to guide them. See, all your teaching, I mean, how did DPS continue with their studies during this pandemic, right? So if the kids are going to be on the phone for 4 6 hours getting bored of their education, they need time also for all the other things, right? So I'm not at all against this social media thing. Only thing is some amount of guidance is required. What is bad is these three things: tobacco, alcohol, and drugs. Period. And that is increasing tremendously, whether you like it or not. And that is where teachers, parents have to come together and try to tell the kids. If the parents are drinking, how are they going to tell the kids don't drink? So that is the whole thing.
Very true, Dr. Shah. But as a parent and as a counselor, majority of the parents they come and share to me, ma'am, that my child is not unable to focus anymore, unable to concentrate anymore. He's in 10th standard, he's in 11th or 12th standard, and he has a lot of important priorities on hand. But they feel that this, they spend too much of time and some they don't even go to play. So all this kind of lifestyle, basically the change in the lifestyle of students has affected their mindset, their habits, their daily routine in a huge way. So, any suggestion for these kids that basically small things what they can follow in their life and they can make a better life, something to parents.
I think first the parents will have to improve their lifestyle, honestly. Because I tell you that you as a counselor must have seen that actually, honestly, that out of the 100 parents which you have seen or spoken to, You must have realized that actually 80% of the parents themselves need counseling, and then right. So, so see, this is the harsh reality of life. It's so easy. Oh, my son is not doing that. My daughter is not doing that. And dear, what are you doing? What are you doing? So the kids are much smarter, and that is where peer pressure or peers, friends, teachers. It's a teamwork. It's not an individual thing. It's a teamwork. And when this whole team combines together, the result is awesome. The result is absolutely awesome. You have to tell the parents only one thing, that don't be, see, very important point which you said is the 2 points. One is focus, and the second is exams. Now both are changing. The focus, ability to focus, that is the worst side effect of social media. The corollary is, ma'am, the corollary is there are people who are just multitasking. There are people who are multitasking. You will find kids who are so sharp, they are multitasking. So now how do you say that they are not able to focus? For us, unidirectional mind, we will say, he is not sticking to one thing. For him, but I am doing five things simultaneously. So, so that is the beauty of it, right? So ability to focus is again relative. It depends that yes, there are people who are not able to focus, not able to concentrate on their studies. Now, studies. Now, I think everywhere in the world, and you being a teacher, counselor, everywhere in the world there are questions being asked about the study methodology. The basic conventional traditional study methodology is proving to be wrong, wrong, and wrong. Now, changing such a thing is going to take decades. It cannot happen overnight, right? But you also know that what we did, just ratta maro, right? See, abroad, schools do not have any pressures. Yes, the private schools, of course, they have a lot of pressure. But my friend in UK, she was telling me that हमारे यहाँ जो English chapter होते हैं ना, at the end there are questions and you have to give answers, right? So in exams, when the question is asked, you write the answer which is right from the textbook. If you write in your own words, negative marks or teacher will cancel. What? But ma'am, I have expressed in my own way. What do you mean? You have not written what is written in the book. In UK, at the end of the story, at the end of the English chapter, they will say, you know what? Okay, this is the story. Give me five different ends to this story. Means they are promoting thinking. They are promoting thinking on there. We are trying to inculcate that you think laterally out of the box. So again, in today's time, see, in our times when there was only medicine and engineering, hey, today's time, if you flunk the class, still you might be a multimillionaire before the doctor finishes his studies. Before the doctor finishes his studies. So again, it's relative. It's a problem, but don't hyper the problem to that extent. Look at the positive side. I think the parents have to understand that gone are the days when that 10 plus 2 plus college plus post graduation plus super specialty is in vogue. There are so many avenues. The key for counselors like you is to find the talent. See, why is America famous? There are talent managers, talent hunters who look at the people, the students, and even we remember our old teachers of school, and they used to spot the talent. That is your job. That okay, this you tell the parents that your kid is made for the grounds, for sports. So don't force studies on him. Your kid is studious, yes, just make him play to be physically fit, but he is going to be a scientist or a researcher or a doctor. You know, so that is where your role comes into the play, a very important role. Parents will look at it unidirectionally. Mera bacha, my kid, he should become the top. For you, then you have to study that kid, and then you have to guide the parents. And see, he is so innovative, he is so entrepreneurial. That, I mean, we had my friends, they had ideas in school, and right now, if you remember, they were decades ahead of their time. So the onus again comes to kids, give them freedom, and right now the freedom which is available to them is infinite, almost infinite, right? So that is where the parents and the counselors and the teachers, they need some sessions together to evaluate. The, the parent and teacher meetings should be more fruitful in these aspects, not "Okay, well, this answer was wrong, this handwriting was bad, or this grammar was wrong. Got it? The, the thing should be really, and things are progressing. See, I think the new education policy has got lot of positives and lot of things from the West. So you will find that no longer studies are going to be in that much demand. And even in Germany, I mean, where the whole engineering and research is done, in Europe, they are asking for diplomas and not degree holders. Can you imagine that? Why? Because they want diploma holders, they want skilled people. And right now, the new education policy is also stressing on skill development. So I am a doctor, I am a cancer surgeon, and what the hell I did with the geography and social studies and physics and chemistry and what? So that is how we are also in a process of transition, and for us to be a part of the transition is also not going to be easy. The end result or the end point should be one: health. The end point, coming to our basic point of today, that the end point has to be positive health, and for that positive health, what lifestyle? But the lifestyle has changed so dramatically. So what was wrong yesterday is not necessarily wrong today. I mean, social media, telephones are bad. Too much time is bad. But what is too much time? If you are studying school on the phone, if you are attending lectures on the phone, then you have got a right to also enjoy games or other shows on the phone during COVID time. During COVID time, once life comes to normal, then that will be the real challenge. Because what happens is people have been exposed to teachers of international standards, right? They will feel, "Arey, yaar, this TPS teachers, this previous teachers, my local teachers are no fun. I will rather go to that YouTube lecturer. He knew how to teach me." See, so now there is going to be a fantastic, healthy competition everywhere and between everybody. The teachers will have to improve their style of teaching to able to hold the attention of the students. Got it? So that is a big positive. So this is how the things are going to evolve. Things are changing dramatically, but they are going to take time because a radical change has to come. Radical change. And your job is going to be all the more. You are going to be stressed out. So you will need more meditation and a healthier lifestyle because you will be attending all those parents. And see, for teaching and explaining students, it's easy. You shout at them, they will listen to you. But managing parents is a different, more difficult task for you than managing the students. The parents have got absolutely irrational expectations. And for you to bring rational into that is going to be a biggest thing. So you have to tell them that, "Ma'am, the end result is health. Health is our wealth. For health, yes. What do you eat? How many times you binge? How many times you eat fast food? If you eat fast food 4 times a day or 4 times a week, how do you expect your kids to have healthy food? So first of all, do you know what is healthy food and healthy eating yourself? Do you know what is healthy lifestyle yourself? Now, how can you expect that I don't live a healthy lifestyle, a good lifestyle, promoting health, and you expect that your kids should do that? Your kids are going to follow you only. So the onus will be on the parents and teachers. And very straightforward, very simple. Good early mornings, exercise. Don't strain yourself. Don't strain yourself that your heart will calm. Don't strain yourself. Gradually improve your exercise levels. Meditation, very. I mean, the whole world is meditating. Unfortunately, probably we are not. The whole world, you will find people meditating on Times Square, in China, in Bangladesh, everywhere, but not over here to that extent. To that extent, right? Diet, definitely occasional cereals and all those things are good, but the traditional Indian food, the breakfast is definitely far superior. Lunch, yes, the traditional Indian lunch, because when you are working Really, there's no time to eat rotis and dals and vegetables and rice and all those things. So lunch has undergone a transformation. So lunch can be a working fast lunch, but again, it can be healthy lunch. A lot of doctors will have a small quantity of fruit, some amount of fast foodish kind of a thing, or some amount of just soup or a salad, and they will be happy because when you are working, a heavy lunch is going to make you sleepy. So lunch has undergone a transformation. Then a snack. Snack again, leafy vegetables and fruits, etc. Everybody says that, but either the vegetables or the fruits are so dirty, they are so expensive, and you don't know what they are using, what kind of manure, what kind of chemicals they are using. So you have to remember one thing, that whatever fruits and vegetables you use, you have to wash them absolutely thoroughly before using them, because it's all about money. So people use different chemicals. People use different chemicals to make the fruits attractive or to ripen the fruits early. So that again you have to be careful. Milk, right now there are so many control, there are so many discussions in the world going on about milk, that whether milk is useful or not. It is incredible that the opponents of milk, they say that humans are the only species who drink milk other than their mother's milk. But all the rest of the species they don't just have milk. And if you critically evaluate, previously milk used to be good for your acidity. Nowadays, if you drink milk for cold milk for acidity, it is not affecting you. So sometimes you feel that you are getting chemicals rather than milk. Okay, so that also is undergoing a transformation. So snack, vegetables, and there are so many options. See, previously there was only Indian food. Now there is this Chinese cuisine, Italian cuisine, Mexican, Lebanese. So many options are there, and they are healthy options. The options are plenty. Only you have to exercise those options. So breakfast, lunch, in snack, all can be maintained. Dinners, yes, everywhere in the world, at the different diet regimens, they are telling that dinners should be smart, and most important, dinners should be early. So the late night dinners are one single factor which really adversely affects your health. Now, doctors will live the lousiest lifestyle. So last night only I took dinner at 11 p.m. after my surgery and rounds and everything. 11:30 I took my dinner, and I was too tired. So rather than having a small walk or something, I just dozed off. And early morning, I puked. So I was laughing that today evening I am supposed to give a talk on healthy lifestyle and health. And, and last night only I myself was a lousy example of what I should not do. I had dinner at 11:30. I slept immediately. Never sleep for. So your dinner should be at least 2 hours before your sleep. But I did not follow that principle myself. And today early morning I had severe acidity, and I puked. And during that puking, I was remember you people that in the evening, क्या मुंह लेके मैं बोलूंगा कि आप healthy life जियो बराबर. When I only did that. So dinner also, there are caveats. 2 hours before your sleep, you should have your dinner, or preferably even more. Then you can have a light snack or something at night. Now, dietitians again, see, life is full of controversies. There are dietitians who say that fruit at night should be taken. There are dietitians who will say no, fruit in early morning should be taken. That is a different topic. But dinner should be at least 2 hours before you go to sleep, and then there should be some amount of activity. Some amount of activity, walk, just slightly walk at least 200 to 300 steps, and then you go to sleep fine. Now that is the time. So that is the time. Okay, you socialize, you follow your phones or your emails or your WhatsApp chats or whatever. Okay. So God has given 24 hours. Just give 8 hours or 9 hours. And sorry for disability. I think all my questions are correct. God has given 24 hours. I think what we need to do is 8 to 10 hours for us, which includes sleep, exercise, meditation, and the rest for other activities. But 8 to 10 hours, if you keep for your own self, then you can look forward to be in the 90s or even a century. But if you don't give adequate time to your own self or for your own self, then you will end up, as a very premature death.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. That was really enriching, knowledge, because I think a lot of things we know, and but you added that actually why we need to use it and why we need to follow that particular lifestyle, so that we can have a healthy body, and yes, healthy mind too, because stress also affects the way we, how we daily deal with number of situations in our life. Thank you so much, Dr. Shah, for coming on this platform on behalf of entire DPS family. I heartily, I'm thankful for sharing your valuable knowledge to our parents and students. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. My pleasure. I actually, it was a very broad-based talk actually. But I'm sorry because I think I get too many phone calls, but it was very broad-based. And again, this is where probably a direct interaction would have been better. But then, people have raised
Of
their
course.
hands and they would have asked their queries also for a virtual because this is too theoretical. And every aspect needs discussion. But see, what was the most important was, social media and telephone. They are bad, but they are not as bad as the parents make it out to be. They they have to promote it in a healthy way, and their kids are going to attain levels which they cannot even imagine. That's the beauty of life, sir.
Yeah,
But there are
because
very
nowadays
simple
screen
things
are the
easy
part
to
of
follow.
life.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, it's a part of our life.
screens are the part of life. Yes, yes.
I
So we
think
have to
your task
accept
is more
and
difficult. Your task
everybody's
it is
task
more
is,
important.
difficult. Yes,
No, see,
yes, it plays